Well, how has technology changed the creative process? How has technology made it where it's easier to make music? Let's go back to 1970. Let's say that you wanted to make a record. Okay, you're not just going to make one record. Okay, I guess you could use a reel if you wanted to make some music, but most folks didn't have a reel; they had records. So, all right, so you went to the studio, booked some studio time. All right, then you need to have some musicians, right? And then if they didn't know the song, you had to write it out. And if you couldn't write it out on music, you had to hire somebody as a arranger to write it out. And then, so right now you're thinking a lot. There's a lot of money that's potentially going there. We're just talking about for one song. And let's say you go through that process, okay, and then you go out and make a record. Well, you didn't just make one record. You made a master record and a gold record basically, and you press from that record, and then you make 100 or 1,000 or 10,000 copies. So we're talking a pretty good bit of coin to go out there and make a record. All right, we go fast forward to the 80s, mid 80s, 90s. You can make a cassette because most people had a cassette player. But to do a good sounding one, you needed to go into the studio and use the right compressions and these type of things to make sure the hiss wasn't too bad on it. But at least then, if you really wanted to, you can make a demo at home and give it out as a cassette. All right, today now, 2000 to today, 2010, basically now you have a computer and you get some type of microphone, either USB microphone or a built-in webcam, a program called Audacity, and you can sing your songs. If you play guitar and sing, you can do that. If you make beats, you can use a program, some software, Fruity Loops, GarageBand, whatever it is, and make your beats and either rap or sing on top of it. And there it is. And now you can make an MP3 of it, throw it online, and have people download it. So that's the big difference, is that today that the creative side of it is it's open to more people than it once was. And so now we have so much music out there to hear and pick from. And in some ways, it's hard to narrow it down and find that one group, that one band that you just really, really, really like a lot. It was easy when everybody knew who the Beatles were. You went out and picked up Beatles records. But as time goes on, that has changed. And a lot of that has to do with how technology has come along. So technology is always a tool. The creative part, now that's the hard part. Rock and roll.